Come explore ancient wisdoms and groundbreaking practices. We'll travel the world, do wacky experiments, and have delightful guests. I'll lead you in deep meditations, all to give you the takeaways so you can live energized, enlivened, and empowered. I'm Dr. David, and this is Aliveness Now. This episode's about the dams, demons, and drains in your River of Ahz. The River of Ahz is an experiential metaphor for the flow of life that runs through you. It gives us a framework and a feedback system to know our progress on the journey to profound aliveness. We use a metaphor because science knows a lot, it's wonderful, but they really don't understand how to experience and be alive. They don't really understand how to create profound health. They really don't know how to help you create enlightenment or experiences beyond the mediocre. Metaphors help us experience it and understand it in a different way. We're blending here science with experience, science with what actually works to get healthy and feel alive in my relationships. This is what I do every day. I'm helping people go beyond tension and pain to freedom and openness, from difficulty in relationship to having a flow and an energizing sense of connectedness. It's a journey. Join us on this journey. It takes you working your way to a profound experience of who you are. But what you gain, just if you go part way, is less pain, less tension, more experience of energy, and the ability to start connecting better to others. The first step is the now moment, as we've talked, because when you relate to this now moment, you first get energy. You get present with yourself and others. Wonderful. But the next step, the me, starts with this river. First, helping activate and create these chakras, these love springs, helping them come alive. And in those areas, you get less tension, less pain, better function, more aliveness in those areas. That's a great gift. The river must flow. So first step, the springs. Next, the channels open up. They start relating to each other as a harmony between your parts. It takes you to another level of extraordinary health. It helps you create the flow and flexibility throughout your body and your spine. It helps you understand who you are and allows a sense of movement in your life. And then the next step on this journey, each step, pretty cool. The next step is to get currents flowing through those channels. And those currents, when they're flowing with strength, gets this profound aliveness that we're looking for. The changes that you'll experience in your relationships and in yourself at this point in the journey take you past the normal or average to the extraordinary. And when those currents flow fully, those are the times you're going to have experiences of enlightenment, of profound transformation. Those currents help you experience your feminine radiance, your masculine radiance. You feel whole as a human being, and they help you understand your partner and your lover. Join me on the journey. That's what this television show is for. My app, the Love Springs app, there's going to be more and more opportunities for you to develop this journey. but it takes getting started, so join us on it. Today, we're going to go deeper into this river and talk about the dams and the demons, because the rocks in the river can be confused for demons. They can gather into dams. They can impede your ability to relate to others, so you have drains. First, let's bring some concepts together. Earlier in these episodes, we talked about relationship and how when a relationship fulfills a commitment or the container the relationship is in, it creates energy. So in this river, what is the relationship? What is the commitment here? Well, the waters, you are the waters. The waters are a relationship between ethereal and physical. So the waters that flow within you are and is the relationship between your ethereal and the physical. It's who you are. So does that relationship fulfill the container, the banks? The banks of your river, the banks of any river contain the waters. Now, how those waters flow along those banks gives us our experience of life. The banks can be full of life, or they can be barren and rigid. What you can do, you get to alter your banks. They're the wisdoms, the defining stories that came down from our ancestry, our life, our soul past, our culture, our choices that formed our banks. The banks as defining stories are the wisdoms, because that's what all of us believes in. The banks are, we believe in it. The rocks are the pieces of the banks that are broken off, where only part of it still believes in it. As you process those rocks, you remake your banks with that material. New wisdoms occur. So the commitment inherent in a defining story, so because a story is a commitment to a potential, to an interpretation of potential. So every story we have is an interpretation of some type of potential. Here we'll have defining stories saying, how is it okay, or how is it to communicate? How is it to express? So we've committed to interpretation, perhaps, that it's not okay to say anything. That may define us. We're quiet. We don't speak up. But does that serve you now? If it doesn't, you've probably moved past it and looked at it before. And it's maybe still some rocks in your river. At the end of this episode, we're going to look specifically at the fifth chakra, this throat chakra, this expression, and look at what kind of rocks or stories you are now ready to clear, turn into new wisdom, to be able to express who you are and relate it to who they are, to be physically and verbally expressive. Each area has that type of thing, where part of us, the banks, will keep us being a certain way. It might be a great way, and that's okay too. That's wisdom. But sometimes it's our parents were taught not to be happy. It's not okay to be happy. So they all walk like this. That's the banks. But when you can start realizing it's not real for me, whoa, then you start shifting the banks, and you start knowing that life can be enjoyed. And that maybe that's why we're here. Let's start the rest of the episode. We're going to go see Dr. Chakra-Chakra, learn about a new catalyst, and apply it then along our river.
Teach us, show us, Dr. Chakra-Chakra, Dr. Chakra-Chakra.
Welcome back to my lab. This is where I do all my experimenting with especially catalysts. All things to do with relationships and fun things, Well, over here, we're working with a beautiful red pear. Ooh, juicy. And a little dragon's egg. Ooh, there's going to be a cute little dragon come out of there. But putting them together, and we're getting something red and green coming together that looks actually quite delicious. Hopefully, it is really exciting. And over here we got a little cute penguin. Is it as good as a little cute turtle? Yes, they're both great. Well, a catalyst, remember, is something that helps things want to bond. Like in chemistry, you got two chemicals in a solution and they don't want to bond. They're like, and you put in a little catalyst, and they bond and make something new, create energy, all sorts of fun stuff. Yes, so catalysts help you get really in the moment, really amplify this moment with each other. When you focus or you acknowledge where they're at, when you choose to look at them and say, hey, I'm right here, come on. But when you put them all together, you get combined catalysts. Last time we talked about empathy. That was something, wasn't it? But this time, we're talking about loving presence. When you can be there accepting your life as this human being on this earth. Yeah, and they're a human being on this earth too. We're not perfect. It's a human being life. So, in loving acceptance, you gotta just be with them in presence and just kind of, hi, I'm here. I accept you. I accept this experience I'm having. Yeah, sometimes we hold stuff inside and we don't want to deal with it. We can push it in there and we just gotta pull it out. Accept it's a human being feeling. Something I might feel. Yeah. And they were pretty shitty maybe. Or maybe they're really nice. I don't know. But if we can lovingly accept they're a human being. And human beings don't always act perfect. We don't have to hold it inside. You can forgive. So I made a loving acceptance pie. I added blueberries just for fun. So loving acceptance, you can't go in and go like that. That's not going to do anything. You can't even push. You can't push. You can't force anything. Look, that doesn't work. But if you go in and you just hold it, you're just with them. Then you can eat the pie. You can have something delicious. It's gooey, but that's life. But you can't go in and try to force it all to happen. It doesn't work. You can't even try to push it. Don't push it. Hey, don't you hate being pushed? I hate being pushed. But if someone's right there with me, oh my gosh, look how that flows and flows. And then look, it starts flowing over. It's filled the container. The container's full. You're getting a great relationship, a live relationship again. Yes, look at that flowing. Oh, wow. Exciting. That's loving acceptance. It's when you're in it, it's hard to stop. So, my hand's still in there. All right. I'll see you later. Pooh. Thank you, Dr. Chakra-Chakra. Loving acceptance. It's so great when you can lovingly accept who you are as a human being and lovingly accept others. When your hand can touch someone with loving acceptance, they melt into your presence. Let's check in with Mr. David. He's going to continue the discussion of the 3 guides. We've been discussing the guides that help you navigate your paths of relationship. Again, your paths of relationship are multiple commitments and relationships you have with another, with yourself, or with a job or an office or a house. Those guides, vision, wisdom, and flow, help it be a smooth, enlivening experience that you can navigate the difficulties that come along. Vision gives you the direction, wisdom, the how-to. The flow gets you moving on it. Now, flow, last time we discussed the 3Ds to make a 3-dimensional flow. The depth that helps you go deep, the drive that gives you the transformation and development necessary to become anew, and the dance that gives you the wisdom of how to relate with another. Each very important. But along the way, there can be experiences and stories and different things inside that inhibit one of those 3Ds. So instead of depth, well, let's call them the anti-3Ds. The first anti-3D stops depth. It's called a dam. When life was flowing too fast and too intense, too difficult to imagine or understand or integrate, we may put up a dam filled with stories and perspectives and past wisdoms that no longer fit who you are now. The problem with the dam is it silts in your river behind it, making that part of your river shallow and without the depth to explore who you really are in that part of who you are. So the dams create an experience in your body or in your life, and usually both, of not being able to move through something, feeling restricted, unable to have a free flow in part of who you are. So dismantling those dams brings back depth, allows what was silted in to flow and be cleansed by your river. It's Dr. David on location. Here we come across a dam that has created a small lake that is shallow, silted in, and only used in the winter for ice hockey. Dams are built in the physical world to protect the structures built by man that can't withstand the natural flow of the floods that occur in nature. Dams within you back up, block, stifle, inhibit the flow in your river. They can silt in and create shallows. They can keep the flow downriver from ever reaching a strength that can enliven and help you find the transformation that leads you to enlightenment. The dams in your river may have been created to protect the parts of you that don't have the strength to withstand the floods of life. At times, that might be necessary. In the times of growth and transformation, it is appropriate to dismantle the dams, to allow your flow to reach its peak, to reach its ability to transform your life and create new wisdom. Removing dams must begin at the top. If you try to take out the dirt or the rocks from below, the dam may collapse onto you and create more havoc in your life than the dam itself was creating. As you remove the rocks from the top of the dam, you create the wisdom to handle the next layer, the next set of stories, the next things that have inhibited you from a strong flow through this part of your life. Layer by layer, that dam will be removed. Each layer will help you have more flow in your life, and it will feel amazing. And you will get to the next layer. At some point, the dam will be gone, and you have a free flow through that part of your life. But it isn't usually a one-time thing. There's layers. When that flow increases, that's the idea. A river can't suddenly take the removal of a huge dam because it will, maybe, create havoc downstream. As more and more flow goes downriver, you can shore up the structures or remove the structures that aren't needed anymore. When you have shallow areas or very narrow flow, that comes through in our relationships with others. They can see and feel the narrowness. They can see and feel the lack of depth. Give people your whole self, remove your dams, create wisdom, and the interaction with others takes on a new aliveness throughout your whole life. Here the rocks have been piled up, creating a dam so that other people can walk across the river.
It's great for this river, but in your own river, you don't want people to walk on you. You don't want to dam up your flow for them so that they can be dominant or leave you behind. So these are the kind of dams we need to break up within the body to let the flow flow so that you are your river. Others don't determine it for you. Ha! Here's another dam. You can see how nicely it fits here. Someone created this to create perhaps a place to swim, or shallows. But in your life, in your river, you don't want a dam. The dams back everything up, creates havoc in the life. So imagine each rock that you remove creates the more flow downstream, opens up the waters for you to be truly who you are. Rock by rock, one by one. That's how you do it. Here's an example of a river that's a little muddy, a little silted in. It's got a dam. These rocks that need to be turned into wisdom and create more flow. It's all cemented in or rocked in. Hard for the change. Hard for it to change. Don't be like this river. But it's a little slippery and mossy. I'm not sure where it comes from even. And plenty of rocks ready to fall in. This is not a river to model within yourself. Even the mighty Mississippi has dams. The effort it takes to move a ship past a dam with the locks, it takes a lot of energy. Where are the dams in your life? What do they help you create? For some, it might be power to get through and survive, but at what expense? Perhaps it keeps you able to be angry so you can win the fight. What expense? Some people, the dams keep them less than, so that they don't run across too much strife, so that they're not taken down because of their power. But when you're a mighty river, run free, run wild within you, allow yourself to be whole. Start dismantling the dams. Let the ecosystem of your whole being burgeon with variety, with fish of all kinds. Take out that dam, connect the heart, connect the power, connect yourself to your path and who you are. Don't hold yourself back. You'll silt in, and there just won't be enough of you for everyone else. There's always an expense when you have a dam. Here we are at the lock that allows the ships to pass the dam on the Mississippi. All the energy it takes to get this information, this product down the river. It's going to exit the lock. The doors will close, and they'll have to put energy into filling the lock with water again. It takes these guys to go back and forth to close and open the doors. You gotta go up. What parts of you have to go up and open the doors of your locks? On a little fun little vehicle there. So they're going up to open those doors. This is the same barge we saw earlier up the river with its tugboat. Oh, how much effort it takes to bypass the dam. Do you want to put that much effort in just to bring your ideas, your enlivenment deeper into who you are? The dam creates the necessity for this much effort, but you can do it. Some of the brilliant people had dams in their river, and their brilliance shined through despite their madness or their anger or their distortion or their timidity. So the dams in our life keep us from bringing things through easily. The more clear and flowing our river is, the more we can bring our ideas, our enlightenment to the world smoothly, with less effort. The world deserves that from you, to have what you know come through easily. This television show, these episodes are going to help you learn how to dismantle your dams so you can freely flow. What you create can flow with less energy. It won't take so much to bring your brilliance to the world. My Love Springs app and this TV show, these episodes, that's what they're here for. But you have to join in. You have to do, it's not necessarily work, but it's what one is here to do in this world, is bring and create wisdom.
Well, while that ship exits the lock, let's take a break and we'll come back and talk about demons. This is Dr. David. You're listening to Aliveness Now on the Transformation Network. It's overflowing even more. Yeah, you can do this for hours. Loving acceptance, do it. Ha! My show, Aliveness Now, is Transformation Talk TV's surprisingly quirky variety show. It has a companion app called Love Springs. Love Springs is a step-by-step journey.
Views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Visit createaliveness.com. The next anti-3D are demons. Demons can inhabit your river and scare you from ever going there. The demons of shame and fear may exist in parts of your river, causing you to avoid that part of who you are. Demons may cause a part of your body to be rigid and unmoving because there's no flow there. You don't go and explore that part of yourself, so it stays locked in a certain way of being. This inhibits your ability to be whole. But they're just parts of you that got overwhelmed. Demons may cause you to act or react as if there's a lack of maturity or understanding to live in the truth of who you are in this life. Demons arise from the feelings you and your ancestry or culture didn't want to feel. They got stuffed inside. So they became rigidities within you, within your body, within your actions. You get so stuffed with the unfelt that area is a place you never go.
Just upstream from here is the Lorelei. It's a huge cliff from which legend says a maiden named Lorelei jumped to her death because of a spurned love. She became a siren which would attract the fishermen into the rocks to their death. She became a demon. The demons along your river have the same source. Not good relationship. She became a demon because she didn't continue her alive relationship within herself. She let her external relationships dominate, and she did not handle it well. The demons inside us, along our river, have the same source. Some type of relationship that was overwhelming, whether within us or with others, a place we no longer want to go. We're afraid of that part of who we are. A demon appears and keeps us away, keeps us from developing that part of who we are, and lures us away, pushes us away, creates fear to be present in that part of who you are, or shame. The demons within us are shame and fear. They are sourced from times our relationships within us or with others didn't go well. Or from our ancestors, or other times that somehow these demons have been in the river of all the descendants, all the soul lives, and they've kept this part alone. It's kept this part of your river alone and undeveloped. So develop your river by facing your demons. Your practice right now, where in your river, what part of you are you afraid of or ashamed to go? What part of you don't you know well? Can you find a part or more? I know mine. But what I've done with them is made a choice to relate to that part of myself, a choice to continue along my river, incorporating the whole river into who I am. Now my demons, they turn and wave. They invite me in. They become my angels. They become that along my river that encourages me and assures me that the wholeness of who I am is enough. It's really facing demons. They're parts of you that are wanting your attention, but they also push you away. Do you know how that feels? So look within you, find those places, make a choice to relate and be there, a choice to continue on without being scared or fearful or shamed of that part of you, that part of your life. It makes a glorious aliveness. When you incorporate a part of your river you've been missing, your wholeness expands into the wholeness of a great river.
Here we are, Palais Garnier, the famous Paris Opera House where the Phantom of the Opera was first seen. Whoa! We have phantoms within us also. There's those demons inside us that create fear or shame, keep us from going to different parts of us. We get afraid to go there, to be within ourselves, in all parts of ourselves. So what demons are keeping you from your flow, in your fullness? What part of you have you not explored? Go there. Don't let the phantom keep you from going inside. It's actually really beautiful in there. What inside you scares you? Is it shame? Is that, hey, whoa, I can't go there because I may not be good enough? Or is it fear? What are they going to do to me if I really flow, if I'm really alive, if I really shine? These are our demons or our phantoms inside that keep us from fully being who we really are, that keep us from exploring all parts of who we are. Explore everything when it's time. Demons within you are basically just the rocks in your river that you're thinking are so scary, that you feel are something they aren't. They're keeping you from going into the parts of you that are beautiful, to jump into this pool, to play with your waterfalls. Feels so good. But if you have a demon there, you won't do it. You'll avoid it. You'll think that part of you is not good enough, or it's not okay to
or you don't have that part, we all have a river. We all have all parts of us that are amazing, and a relationship between the ethereal and physical. Look at this rock. Okay, it's a rock. But what do you see? What do you think it is? Do you think it's a phallic shape? Or a witch's hat? I don't know, it could be either. Then what do you think about the witch's hat? Is it evil, bad? Or do you love witches' hats because they're playful and fun and remind you of the Wizard of Oz? This is how it is. We will look differently. Is a phallic shape bad? If a male looks and sees a phallic shape, he may love it or think he may have shame because of his own feelings about his own sexuality. A woman may look at a phallic shape, some are turned on, think woo, and some brings up their fear of what men have done to women on this earth. So it's just a rock. How you look at it, those are your demons. What you hold inside that you don't allow yourself to look at. Those are the demons. They scare you away from your sensuality or your magical play. So let's clear one. Let's clear a demon. Let's turn it into an angel, a flowing support for you. That's what they become when you can take these stories and turn them into wisdom with loving acceptance. So the catalyst of loving acceptance, focus, choice, acknowledgement, they all bring us to be there for those demons inside us. Physically, they kind of feel where it's tense or tight but deep inside, kind of under the ribs or inside the neck, inside your forehead, kind of deeper. It's just a little deeper than normal rocks. You've internalized it. You've probably looked at the story of it before, but now you're just keeping it inside. You've looked at it before. You can now, with loving acceptance, bring it out. So let's go into today's chakra. We're working with the throat chakra. Later, we'll clear some stories about the fifth chakra, the throat chakra. It's where we carry a lot of energy. So, what could this be? Some tension in there, deeper in. And I have looked at many times, it's not okay to say and show myself with my words where I really am, what I really feel. Follow along, because a lot of us hold these type of demons in us. So what I was saying is, there's some tension here. I've looked at before, is it safe to show myself? Here I am, showing myself. But there's a demon in there. You'll never, I pull it out. It's almost like I have to pull it out so I can look at it. Pull it out, like it's stuffed in there. I've stuffed this in there, so I want to bring it out and kind of, hey, can I observe it? Lovingly watch it, accept it. It's a human being feeling many of us share. And so I'll pull this feeling out of, no one's going to really ever like what I have to say. No one's going to enjoy what I enjoy. No one's going to be inspired by the words I have. Oh, here's a feeling for you. So I pull it out, lovingly accept. Yeah, that's what I might feel sometimes. I'm a human being. So as a human being, we let ourselves feel it. Have acceptance that this is something I might feel as a human being. Yeah. As I accept it, I felt my throat kind of clear and want to move around a little bit. So the muscles deep in there are starting to work a little bit. And that is that physical part, unwinding the tension that was held there. And now I'm starting to feel more of a flow and softness and a lack of rigidity that I had felt just a moment ago. That peace now, to accept I might feel that sometimes, gives me freedom. helps that part of myself that let me explore my expression. The part of me, this container here of expression, I can explore it more fully. I can allow myself to go there. And now I feel some cheering. These parts of me are saying, yeah, you can do it. This rocks that I thought were demons aren't rocks anymore. I've turned them into wisdom to know I will know if it's ever not safe or not okay to say what I need to say. I've turned them into a new container for which I can easily fulfill with who I am now. That's aliveness. In the app, in the Love Springs app for this week, there'll be an exercise to understand the demons the male takes along with him more often, and the kind of the demons the female will take with her more often. There's a process there to understand each other and to look inside yourself and to be understanding of your lover. So check that out.
Let's pause for break. You're listening to Aliveness Now on the Transformation Network. I'm Dr. David. See you after the break. The third anti-3D are drains. Drains flush away your energy. They diminish your desire to dance. Drains come from relationships that don't fulfill their commitments. You may have drains in other commitments and relationships you have, flushing away your energy, taking your energy down so you can't relate to this relationship, to this path of relationship, because you don't have the energy. So what one needs to do is make the choices to shift the commitments, to fulfill commitments, to get rid of and break and say, I don't need that in my life now. So that you'll have the energy that you can dance with in this path of relationship. So get rid of the drains, identify them, make new choices. Yes. Make new choices. Create loving acceptance in your life. That helps you relate better so that the drains disappear. So you create energy rather than letting energy drain. So it's evaluating each relationship and feeling, well, is this a drain? Where is it from? Is it from my expectations or theirs? Is it unfulfillable? Or do I have to shift the size of that commitment so that it is fulfillable? We'll have a whole episode on how to create those relationships in the we that are energizing and enlivening and not draining. So, for now though, we'll go and check in with Mini Dr. David as he explores what it's like to be in a drain and also what it feels like to be in a thriving relationship, a pod. Oh no, I'm getting washed away. I'm getting pushed down. Oh no, I'm getting sucked down. Oh, it's getting all dark and cloudy. It's all cloudy, all dark. Oh, where am I? Oh, I think I fell in the fish tank. I'm all alone. Oh, all pokey stuff around. Oh, this is no fun. Oh, I'm trying to go up, but oh, will anybody help me? Oh, here I am, but they're all ignoring me. Oh, hello everybody? Anybody there? Oh, help. Oh, I'm getting swept away with them. And who am I? I don't know anymore. Oh, this is more like it. Oh, we can swim together. This is what it feels like to flow together. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. This feels good together. You're my pod.
So in the River of Ahz series of Aliveness Now, we'll be coming out to the love springs to clear the rocks, to transform them into wisdom, to create flow and currents in our rivers. This is our experiential segment, doing our clearing of the rocks that are in the river, creating a swirl in this 5th chakra pool. Well, there's often big rocks in the 5th chakra. So again, you find some of your stories by looking to see where in your life there's a rub, what's bugging you, what's been not flowing, where there's been a swirl, where's it been difficult. So if that's been in your expression, that's around the 5th chakra. If it's in the defense, that's our 5th chakra. The verbal and physical expression is where we often carry tension and energy in past stories. So, the verbal expression. It's about actually being able to express whenever we want and how we want and know that we can do it. So, when there's stories there, big rocks like this, it's a lot of times that range of it's not safe to say anything. And it can be the other end, it's not safe unless I say something. So, what if there's been a rule? Again, a rule that some party's saying you got to, it's not okay if you ever just say anything. It won't be safe for you to express yourself. It won't be okay if you say what you really feel. Because there's always times to know when and when not to say what we feel. But most of the time it's pretty safe. So instead of it having been, keep yourself from saying something because you're afraid that some part of you thinks it's not safe, have it be that you'll know when and when not. You'll know. You have the relationship skills to know when to say what you need to say and when to hold back and not say it. There are times not to say things. But right now, probably where you're at, you can say anything you want. I can say what I want. These cats won't mind, right, kitties? Huh? They don't mind that I'm expressing now. In fact, they love it. Look they come around because I'm talking, right? Do you like this? Huh? Do you like it? So, the story. Let's say that the story is some part that says it's not safe to say anything. And that's a deep physical fear. It's not safe. So what I'll do with that, use a metaphor of going to that part of me, this 5th chakra center. It's that part of me is hiding in a cave and thinking it's not safe to express myself. It's not safe to say something. It's not safe to be heard. So go in there with that part. Let her or him tell you the stories of when it was true. So let each little piece of story, there were times in human history it was not safe to be heard. A little cry, maybe it got found by the Nazis. Okay, that happened to human beings. I know some. And times someone was heard and they were raped. Someone was heard and they were shot. Someone expressed themselves and they got slapped. Someone said what they meant or what they wanted to and they got hung. Chopped head. I mean, that's intense, but that's a human history. Allow yourself to feel it for a moment with that part who's telling her stories or his stories. Because as that part tells the stories when it was true, you can also remember, hey, there's a lot of times in history people express themselves and they're fine, they're safe, it's okay. So, if that part can tell the stories of when it was true and when it wasn't, it gets wisdom. It starts understanding when and when not it's true. And then listen to the other part that's in that cave saying it's not safe unless I say something. Again, for some people somewhere in history, that was true. They were drowning, they were in a well, they were getting beat up. No one heard them. They were wanting safety and the factory owners didn't listen. So there's times that it wasn't safe unless we were heard in human history. So the key is to know that that was true somewhere, some way, and have empathy for people who lived that. There's the catalyst. Acknowledge, yes, it happened, and have empathy. Have empathy that these people lived where it really truly wasn't safe. They were raped, they were killed, they were hurt, they were torn apart, whatever, because either they were hurt or they weren't. Right? So yeah, you feel it. You have empathy. You have empathy. And that empathy, feeling with these other human beings in past history, helps that part, and those parts in that cave go, wait. Once they've told their stories long enough and you've had empathy enough, they can go, wait, today looks like a nice day. They can look outside that cave door and go, whoa, it looks like a great day today. Oh. So imagine them coming out of the cave, sitting on the beach, sipping on their Mai Tai, whatever. I mean, they're hanging out. They said, we'll know when and when not it's true. We don't need to hide in the cave anymore. You can sit with them and enjoy the day, knowing you'll know when you can express yourself and when you can't. You'll know when it's safe to be heard or not heard. The range in between those two extremes is huge. So most of the time it's safe to be heard or to not be heard. It's okay. Feeling that strength, the heat there, and coming then out to the physical side, which is kind of the physical expression, where we hold the physical defenses, where the old primal brain hangs out and goes, whoa, I got to protect myself. Even though, wait, yeah, are you guys lions? You're not lions. I'm safe. These are cats. There's flowers. It's hanging out. It's spring. It's beautiful. It's not going to, no clouds in the sky. So right now I'm safe. Cool. But my primal brain may think, oh no, maybe it's still holding on to the drive home or things that overwhelm my primal brain or interactions I had with people where some part of me got activated to believe I gotta keep myself defended physically. So what I do, one, empathy. Wow part, I know that feeling. You're trying to defend me, I can see why. I mean, this is the primal part of the brain hangs out here. And so that's why with a cat, when their back's up, they're it's the neck that shows us. So they want to play. You want to play? Huh? Yeah. So what we're working with then is that primal brain and letting that primal brain know it's okay right now. Thank you for trying to keep me defended. This is how, so put it in your arm, go, oh, you think you need to defend us? I can see why. Or sometimes the other part, well, think primal knows three things: attack, defend, or enjoy life. We like that one. We like that one. We can enjoy life, sit on our rocks in the middle of our pool, enjoy the waterfalls. It's peaceful right now. It's a beautiful evening. I have to talk a little loud because I don't know if you can hear me with all that noise of the waterfalls. So, but it's okay. So, if, it's more in the front, sometimes that's the attack. So if I'm tight in the front, I'll put my arm around my primal brain and go, you think you need to attack somebody? And I think I know who. Because there's usually somebody, I go, yeah, they were I can see why. But I'll laugh and know it's not real right now. And that my conscious mind isn't going to attack. But the primal can get activated by small things. It gets reminded of a time where it needed to be ready to attack. Who knows when? 1,000 years ago. Doesn't matter. You don't have to ask. Or sometimes it's reminded I have to defend myself. But you love it up. Because it's not right now. And it can look around and go, wait, that's not real. Phew. And it's very happy to get to its other mode of enjoy life. Be right here. Come out of that fight, flight, or freeze. Allow myself to heal and integrate, be at peace, and find the love that's in my heart. To know I can feel what I need to feel and express what I need to express. And it's okay. Great. Thanks for joining me out here in the Love Spring area. I love coming out of here into these woods, into this waterfall, and just being. It's a place to experience and find myself, find a place in your life where you have this safety, this peace. Go to a park, go where you need to find where you find you have connection to yourself. Practice the presence that we went over in the first series. Enjoy.
Next episode, we'll go further into understanding the River of Ahz and how to create great flow in your health and in your life. This is Dr. David. You've been watching Aliveness Now on the Transformation Network. Oh yeah, you don't want to stop when you're lovingly accepting everything. It just feels so good. And look at that, overflowing, even overflowing top of the thing. Oh, it's going good. It feels so good. It's still going. Create aliveness within yourself and in your relationships. Join me every second and fourth Monday at noon Pacific on Transformation Talk TV. Download Love Springs app. It's a companion journey to deepen your experience. Visit createaliveness.com to find out about my Catalyst Games, Aliveness events, and retreats. I am Dr. David, and you have been listening to Aliveness Now.